Hi everyone, and happy July 5th. I hope you had a safe and good 4th of July yesterday if you're in the States. And if you're not in the States, I hope that you had a good July 4th anyway. My name is Katie Carney, and this is Katie Stitching, and this is my Flosstube episode number 26. I don't have a ton of stitching progress that I'm going to share, but I have a lot of haul that I want to show off, so I didn't want to wait too much longer to record. Sorry, that was really rude. At the beginning of my videos, I usually post a little update about my life. Well, yesterday was the 4th of July, and we're in a pandemic, so I didn't do anything. But I was like, we'll cook steaks on the grill, me and my grandmother, and have some asparagus. And I cook on the grill once or twice a week. Well, I caught the grill on fire yesterday and had to call the fire department. Yeah, it was not my finest moment. I had just cleaned the grates, but something must have leaked on the burner, and one of the steaks went up, well, both of them, and I tried pulling them off, but the flames were a little high, and then I was like, well, maybe if I close the lid, the flames will go out. And then they didn't, so then I turned the heat off, thinking that would help, and it didn't. And finally, I called the fire department. I live in a city of 70,000 people, so we do have a paid fire department. They got here in 3 minutes. They brought 3 trucks and the command car. It was intense. But, this is why I live in a city, so that if I call the fire department, I don't have to wait for the volunteers to show up. I finally found, we have a fire extinguisher that my grandmother put in the closet in the dining room, which is not helpful. But by the time I found it, I had already called the fire department, so I just let them, handle things. And they were very nice. My grandmother's freaking out and wants to get rid of the grill. Which I don't think we're going to do, but I could be wrong. When she gets her mind on something, that's often it, so I don't know. Mark got me the grill 3 years ago, and she's never liked it. I like it a lot. I like that it doesn't make dishes and it doesn't heat the house up, but we shall see. Can't tell her anything. And then also a PSA. So I think that we all know that in my household, we've taken COVID very seriously. I stopped working in the office earlier than most people. I have taken staying home very seriously. I wear a mask when I leave the house. We don't really have people over. Yesterday, when the fire department came, my grandmother had been out in the garden and was on her way in. And to get up to my porch, there's steps. So she stayed at ground level because if the propane tank exploded, obviously I didn't want her in the house. She did not have a mask with her because she had been in our garden and didn't go in the house. When the fire department came and they fire extinguished the thing and they turned off the propane tank and they pulled all the food off and they were wonderful, she hugged them to thank them, and I took a picture of my grandmother with the fire department. And I got a shocking amount of comments saying that they needed to have 6 feet distance and that no one had a mask on. Firefighters wear respirators with masks that need to be attached to their face. Do you want to know why? Because they go into burning buildings. Because for all they knew, when they pulled up to my house, the grill was going to have caught my back porch on fire, which is going to catch my house on fire, which would catch the house next door that's roof overhangs mine on fire. So no, they didn't have masks on. Neither did my grandmother. But at the end of the day, if I have to choose between my house burning down, my grandmother burning in my house, or getting COVID and having a chance of surviving, I'm going to take the COVID. Also, it was just a nice thing. Should she have hugged him? Maybe not. But if the worst thing that happens in Scranton, where there's 2 or 3 cases in my county a day, is that my grandmother hugged the firefighters as they were saying how happy they were that this is all that happened, it's fine. Please do not call people out on Facebook or Instagram or anywhere else if they're not doing what you think is right. They're doing what they think is right. My grandmother hasn't left the house since March. These firefighters are firefighters and are getting COVID tests. And even if they're not, it's none of your business. I believe in the pandemic. I believe in wearing a mask and washing my hands and being careful and doing the whole thing. I also believe that my grandmother was okay to thank those firefighters for coming to my house and making sure that my 130-year-old house didn't go up like a tinderbox. I'm sorry, I know I'm really hot about that, but it really upset me when people were like, 6 feet, why doesn't anybody have a mask on? Well, you know, because my house almost burned down. Anyway, so, you know, be kind. Like, y'all, I know, like, we've been staying home. We know how dangerous it is. My house almost burned down. Priorities. Anyway, now I'm going to get to the stitching, because that's what you're here for. You don't care about listening to me complain about internet people. First, an update on my roller frames. I am not going to mention the company that I ordered them from again. If you're curious, you can go back into one of my old videos. They are the company that Vanna recommended. That's where she bought her roller frames. I ordered several on March 29th. I spent a lot of money, a lot for me. I mean, I understand that many people spend a lot more money on stitching than I do. They said it would be between 2 and 8 weeks. After 8 weeks, I emailed the company asking for an update, and I did not get a response. I emailed again a little more firmly and was told that they still didn't know. And then when 3 months had elapsed, I emailed that I would like a refund, and I didn't hear anything, and I called, and they issued me a refund. And then 5 days later, I got an email from PayPal, which is who I used, saying that the company had not actually refunded the money and that the money was not going into my account. So I reached out to the company the next day and in very kind words was like, hey, what the heck, I'd like my $176 back. Also, they weren't going to pay me back for the shipping, even though I had never received the item. I had to ask for my shipping back, $22 of shipping. So now they said that the money had left their account. PayPal was saying that it had not. And finally, I had to file a grievance with PayPal, and I'm still waiting for that money, and we'll see what happens. I do not recommend that company. You can go back to my old videos and find them. I realize that the maker of roller frames is apparently very popular and very slow, but I don't sell products if you're not going to be able to get them. Don't hold my money if you're not going to be able to deliver the product. I placed an order in May with a company in Baltimore, and I told them they could charge me, even though I knew that the threads and fabric weren't coming, and she said, well, we're not going to charge you if we can't send it. So they have my credit card number, and I'm just waiting for the order to come in, which is fine. I have plenty to work on, but like, they didn't take my money knowing that they didn't know when they'd get the product in. So, roller frames and the company that sells them that I'm not going to mention again, beware. I will say this. Michelle McGraw, I'm going to show a little haul now. Michelle McGraw had recommended the no-slip embroidery hoops. This is a 10-inch. I got it on Amazon, and I love it. I've never loved hoops because I could never get them taut enough, and then taut? I think it's just taut. I think the N is silent. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But these, they've got like a little lip right here, and then, whoops, there we go. A hole for the lip right there, so it fits really well in there, and I really like it. So I got the 10-inch first, and then Friday I ordered the 9, the 7, and the 5, so I'll have a collection. These are between $11 and $16, I think, so they're more expensive than the traditional wooden hoop, but they're really nice, and it's still a lot cheaper than the roller frames. So I've also gotten some recommendations for other types of, I'm sorry, my computer volume, for other types of scroll frames, and a lot of them are sold out because of the pandemic, which is fine. So I will keep on with this. I've been using it for Pavane now, and I really like it. And hopefully I find a scroll rod I like soon. Alright, so I'm sorry about my firefighter tangent, although, y'all, I'm going to put a link to my personal Instagram page, the one firefighter. I would have hugged him too. If he would have wanted to hug me, I would have been like, hug me, friend. Whew, he should be on the calendar. Anyway, so stitching wise, I am working on big projects right now, so I'm not going to have many finishes coming up, but I do have two project bags. So my July 4th start is Lady of the Flag, which I'll show you in a second, but I've discovered that I really like to have, I like when things match. I like a theme. So I got this, it's red, white, and blue flowered fabric from Joann's. And then I had already the inside fabric. And then I just did a little bit of I practiced some quilting on it. And this is just it's just a notions bag. I have the sew free, you don't have to sew it, Velcro. But because I don't travel with my bags, I just iron them closed. So they're easy to open, and then they stay shut fine. And then I just have the extra DMCs. Oh, my Krynic came. My Krynic. And that's currently what's in there. And then for the actual project bag, so I had gotten strips of fabric at Joann's to make a project bag, and I didn't really love the colors, but I took what I could get. And then I was at Hobby Lobby, and they had this fabric on clearance for the whole piece, so it was big enough to do the project bag, and then probably I could do another project bag and a small bag on sale for $5. It was just an end, so I was like, that's perfect. So I was able to also, because it was a fake quilting, I quilted it, which you can't really see because of the quilting, but you can see it better. So you can see I practiced quilting some more because I'm practicing before I do the big quilt. And then this is just the envelope project bag that Vanna does. I didn't feel like doing binding on this one, so it's just her pattern, but I quilted the base. And I really like it. It's got, it fits my whole project in there without a problem. And like I said, again, I don't usually close these because they just stay in my stitching room. So now, let's talk about Lady of the Flag. And I'm wearing my themed 4th of July shirt today. I pull this out for Memorial Day and 4th of July, so I try to wear it. Alright, so 1 second, I'm going to go grab the pattern, I forgot it. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. So I started Mirabilia's Lady of the Flag. I spent an exorbitant amount of money on this on eBay. When I'm done, I will be selling this for what I paid for it. So for this pattern, it's huge. I think it's 12 or 15 pages photocopied, and the lady herself is, full coverage. So I don't normally mark up. I always make a working copy, always, because I fold them, but I don't usually mark them up because I can tell what I've done and what I haven't. But with this being full coverage, I'm actually using these Le Pen. I love these pens. I usually get them at Books A Million, but Walmart had a set of them on clearance for $5.50 for 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of them. So usually I pay $1.30 or something for them at Books A Million. So I was very excited. So I am marking up the working copy of this. The pattern itself is staying in the pattern because, like I said, I want to sell it. I did a very small start on this yesterday. I am a upper left corner starter. And with a Mirablilia, you have to start in the center because you want her to be centered. So I folded my fabric and I found the center and I started her yesterday. So I started with this color here, and then you go back, you work your way back down. So I got all of this done, and then I started it down here. I was off by a half stitch. So if it was, I was so early in the project that I ripped them all out. So that's all of this color had to come out. And you know, the fire department also came. And then I started a movie with we always watch 1776 on the 4th of July. So like we also had to do that. And I couldn't stitch on this while watching that. This requires concentration. So I didn't get a ton done, but then today I've worked on it a little bit, and then I'll put her away. This is the flagpole I figured out. So I've only done a little bit, but I love her so far, and hopefully she comes up centered on the fabric. So I put all my DMC, you know, I use Jen Lee's floss cards. So these are all the DMCs called for. There's a group on Facebook that people have done these crazy conversions with her, but I decided to just do her. I'm tempted though to make two and I really like the golds, but I would love to do one that looks like the Statue of Liberty. So maybe someday we'll see, because I don't know how I'm gonna like this to begin with. So when I first started watching, not when I first started, but I've only been stitching for like a year, I watched Rika, House of Stitch and Stash, and she recommended one of these when you're using a Mirablilia, because, so I just wrote, there you go. So I just wrote what the sign is in the pattern for that color, and if I have any left over on the needle, I'm putting it there so that I'm not wasting floss because it uses a lot. And then what I also did was I bought a pack of size 28 Pat's favorite needle. I just got a 25 pack from 123 Stitch. Rocio loves these needles and I like them, but there's another one that I can't remember the name of that I like even more. And then when I was ordering the hoops on Amazon, I also ordered, just to try them, some of the ball tip needles. So we'll see if I notice any different with those. So I gotta say, I was a nervous wreck to start her, and now I'm gonna probably be nervous the whole time, just because it's a center start and she's a very big lady, and I've never done anything like this before. But I am enjoying the process for now. So I think it was after my last video that I decided I really needed to serge the edges of Pavane. So I have threaded my tiny serger, but y'all, I serged this, but it's like the ugliest serging ever. And I can't tell like if it's gonna work or not. I did the best I could. It didn't come with directions. And there's very few YouTube videos or directions that make any sense for a Singer tiny serger. So I'm doing the best I can. And then it's horrible to thread. And then mine is working just fine, even though I bought it very used. But I just And then, like, you don't put the foot pedal on the floor. I just leave it on the table and use my hands and feed the fabric, and it's a whole big thing. So I'm glad I got it, because I hope to someday thread it better and have it work better. We'll see. But Pavane, now that I'm giving it away as a gift. Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to tell you, for the Mirablilia one, it took me forever to iron that fabric, and it is the Constitution fabric by the Primitive Hair. Hang on. There we go. Nope. No, I don't have anything white here. There we go. So, it came really quick. It said it was coming from, like, I don't know, Italy, but it was somewhere in the States, and it came super fast. I did decide on the Primitive Hair's Constitution fabric because I thought the Constitution looked the best on it. Some of the other pictures weren't great. It did take forever to iron, but I got most of the creases out. If you have any fabric ironing tips, I would love to hear them. Thank you. Okay, so Pavane. You know, I've decided, so this is Long Dog. I started this on Easter. So pretty. Love it. I decided I'm giving this to a friend who is eloping. She's having a pandemic elopement. They weren't even engaged. They just decided to get married, and I'm so happy for them. So I finally got all of the floss I need. This is DMC 336. I should have enough now. Just keeping it on a little ring. And then my fabric is 28 count Confederate Gray. Confederate Gray is the best gray. It's just the best gray. I love it. And then I got a lot of work done on this piece. I finished page 3 and I moved down to I moved from 3 down to 6. So page 3 ended like right here. So I've gotten a lot done, but like there's not a lot here, and I serged it, but like it's coming off because it attached to, I don't even know. I'm gonna try to serge it again. I stink. I think I might try to sew some fabric to it and see if that helps. I don't know, because I don't know what else to do, because it's so pretty and I'd hate to lose all this work. Isn't it pretty? I hope she loves it. I really do. So this is my primary piece right now because I want to get it done. And then it's great because like I'm watching a movie with my grandmother, and for this it's just 2 stitches down the border for 200 and some stitches. So I'm just doing that, and I can do that in hand. Like I don't have to have the I don't have to have any hoops or tools or anything. So that's working out. And then my only other whip right now is I'm still working on this bloody Santa ornament that just won't end. But he's getting there. So there. Ooh. There he is. So I worked on this part. I mean, he's almost done. I'm out of white floss that came with it, so he better be almost done. I bought 2 of these, one for a friend. I couldn't find it. Apparently I had stuck it in there. So those are my 3 whips. It was a good shopping. So now that my whips are done, I have a lot of haul. Like, I have a lot of haul. So I'm going to go over my haul, and then at the end I got the FROGWARTS year 1 retreat box, and I am planning to unbox that. I have looked at it and it's amazing. It's by the Black Needle Society, and I highly recommend. This is the first box I've gotten from them, and it is fantastic. So I'm going to go over my haul, and then I will say again when I'm going to do the unboxing. So if you have not gotten your box yet, or if you are holding it, when I announce again, turn me off, okay? But otherwise, please stay and look at that. It's fantastic. It's the best curated box I've ever gotten across the board, and I've gotten knitting Harry Potter themed boxes. I've gotten not Harry Potter themed boxes. I like a subscription. I got food subscriptions for around the world. This is the best one by far. It's wonderful. Now, to haul. So, I got a dragon. Hang on, let me get a piece of paper. I just had one. So the good thing about the Pavane pattern is it's white. So this is a clay by Kim, and it is the prettiest little dragon. So initially I was like, I don't know, like I don't think they're my thing, particularly the dragons, but now, whew. And I have someone who will remain nameless who helps me get them. But I love it. Love, 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 love it. So that's my big piece of haul. And then Rika, House of Stitch and Stash, posted in her Insta stories that Joanne was doing a too low to show floss sale at Joann's. And that means usually that they're 40 cents. And I don't know if you know, but DMC's gone up to 60 at Joann's. So that's 20 cents off a skein. There's a pandemic, and I do think we're headed back towards a lockdown nationwide. So I went to Joann's and I bought a full set. Are you ready for this? The receipt is, I'm 5'10". The receipt is 10 feet long. So this right here is 5 feet 10, and then this is still what's left. Hang on, let me show you the bag. It's all DMC. I have to go through and, oh look, 336. I have to go through and, you know, I keep them in the Ziploc bags in those containers. So I have to go through and put them all in. And I am going to make notes of what I'm short of. And the next time I go to Hobby Lobby, I will get what I didn't get at Joann's. And I just want to have a whole set. The next time this happens, if it happens again, I want to be ready. So... $111 later, I was at the cash register for 30 minutes almost. I kept letting people go in front of me because I knew it was going to take forever. I was so embarrassed. And it was so hot in the mask, and the register kept freezing. And I went to high school with the girl who was ringing me out, and I know she wanted to choke me to death. But, I have just as much a right to buy 275 skeins of DMC as anybody else. But she was not amused at all, and I just kept saying, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And they had one other woman who came up to check, but Joann's registers are notoriously slow, but that's not my fault. So anyway, I have a full set now. So I'm sure you all remember that Long Dog. Hang on. I'm sure you all remember that Long Dog released a free pattern called Pandemic. It's 23 pages, it's huge. And I decided it's huge, so I needed a big piece of fabric. So with my FROGWARTS box, they had a deal on parchment by 32 count Lugana parchment, and I don't remember what the company name is. But there was, you got a piece, they did, I'll show it to you, but there's a pattern that goes, which, this is not a spoiler, everybody's already seen it. There's a pattern that goes with the box, and then if you get the subsequent boxes, there's a pattern for each of them. So I got a big enough piece of fabric for that, and it is this beautiful parchment. So I'm thinking, so I had initially been thinking, sorry I say so much, about DMC 500. It's like a, I don't even know how to get the color, I'm sorry. It's like a hunter green. And then I put it up against the fabric when I got the fabric, and I was like, that's not gonna do. Then I did a floss toss with my giant thing of DMC, and I found 154, which is like this plummy, purpley, fuchsia, royal regal, and I love it. So my pandemic is going to be in parchment with DMC 154. I just have to order 40 of them sometime in the future because I'm grounded from DMC for a little while because I bought it all. So that's my haul, except for my FROGWARTS box. So if you, again, PSA, if you got this box, have not received it yet, or are waiting to open it, mine is here. I'm going to show everyone the innards. Okay? So this is my FROGWARTS box, and I love it, although I might have broken something in it. It was really, well organized. They used that paper stuff to fill it, and then right on top is, this is the picture that the girl from Black Needle, I can't remember her first name, that she designed. So this is like a postcard that you can hang up, and then it's got everything listed here that's in the box. And then everything was really thoughtful. Like, everything made sense that was in here. And then they also put in, so one, they're doing a digital retreat, because these are retreat boxes, a retreat in a box. And it's going to be July 10th through the 14th. They're going to be hosting open chat rooms, stash dive games, Quidditch bingo, a watch along party, and more. So I can't wait. I don't have plans next weekend, so I am planning to participate as I can. And then they do with their boxes a photo challenge, and then you can win a $25 gift card to Etsy. So they do an unboxing that you can post on Instagram, so I'll probably take a picture of it today because I'm planning to start using stuff. And then there's all different postings that you can do. Okay. So the first thing when I opened the box was this is the paper stuff that was in it. So the first thing was this fantastic canvas bag, and I'm sure it's for projects, but I'm probably going to use it as a farmer's market bag, and it's color screen printed with the logo for this. Isn't that, like, she's so talented, she drew that. Hang on, let me put the box somewhere so that I can make it a mess. Isn't that great? Wow. And then they folded up hang on. So in the box there were Birdie Bot's every flavor bean that I'm gonna save for next weekend for the party. And then there was a bath bomb, and this is, so it was for year one, so this is the Philosopher's Stone, which is, in the US it was called the Sorcerer's Stone, and then it's Earl Grey, which is my favorite. Bergamot is one of my, like, I wear bergamot, it's like my favorite. So it's, and then I really like that it doesn't seem too like chemically. It's almond oil, bath bomb base, which is usually just like Epsom salts, baking soda, and something else. The color, which is not my favorite part, but there's color in it, and then the essential oils for the scent. So there's that. My other piece of fabric, because like I said, I got two. And then this is, it says every flavor floss, birdie, what's it say? Retreat in a box, every flavor floss. It's exclusive overdyes, and I did not know what to expect. I was impressed. It is 5 color and cottons. I really need that white paper that I keep putting under things. And they're all Harry Potter themed. So we have blueberry, because they're Birdie Bot's every flavor bean flosses. Tutti Frutti. I don't know what I'll ever use that for, but it's fun. It's like a unicorn. Bogey. Earwax, which is a flavor I want to say Dumbledore gets. And cherry. So they're great colors. And they're probably just going to live in this thing that they brought. Like, just the thoughtfulness of putting them in a little case with the thing on the front that said every flavor floss. Like, just so thoughtful and fun. I'm really impressed. And then it came with a piece of fabric, but it was actually your acceptance letter to Hogwarts. So this is the letter that Harry gets. So they put that on the front of the packaging, and then on the back is a wax seal that has Hogwarts seal on it. And then my house is Gryffindor, so this is Gryffindor red. And then they did send a piece of fabric, another parchment. So what they said about the parchment, or the fabric, is it's from Picture This Plus. It's 32 count linen. It reminded us of the parchment used for Harry's letter from Hogwarts. Use your cut for your next project or for the exclusive pattern. So you can do the pattern with this. I probably won't because I want to do it big. Then they had an old copy of the book that was falling apart, so they used it to wrap things in, and they sent Norbert, which is a dragon from the first book. They sent their zipper pulls. Isn't that cute? What did they say about those? Never has your cross stitch been safer than with this baby dragon keeping an eye on things attached to your project bag. And then they gave a beautiful, this is a floss card, but it's actually your ticket to the Hogwarts Express to get to platform 9 3/4. And this is wood. It's really, really nice. And then I don't actually use candles in my house, but they sent a Brave and Daring common room candle. So this is toasted marshmallow, apple, and fireplace. It smells delicious. I might break my rule, although with the fire department here yesterday, I don't know. There were 4 different candles that you could get. This exclusive candle was chosen based on your Hogwarts house, and I had picked Gryffindor. Then, so I don't know where they got this mug, but this is the beginning of the book, and it's Harry Potter getting on the train and then arriving at Hogwarts. I love this. I love this. I love mugs. And it's a big mug that you can like hold, and it's just awesome. Good job. Good job. So I love that, obviously. And then the pattern, this is the FROGWARTS Year 1 Band Sampler pattern number 2. I don't know if that means mine was printed second. Well, not mine, like I just, you know, they picked it. But, so, it's a band sampler of the first book. And it says, it does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live. And I think I told you guys that, like, Harry Potter is where I escape to, so I'm really looking forward to stitching this. I think I might start this, even though I don't like having a lot of projects, next week during the retreat, because you only live once. And then I got a chocolate frog needle minder. So they put it in this fun little packaging, and got my name on it. So I think the point is that if you go to like the retreat, that you wear it as a name tag so people know who you are. But it's a needle minder. I really like the reusable aspect of it. And that's what you got. And I did get their Advent box, the big one. And then I actually emailed them because I was like, am I going to be able to get the second one? Like, will there be a pre-sale for people who got the first since the band sampler? And I hope that they do something like that. But, so that's what I got in my retreat in a box. I highly recommend their products. I mean, they do a great job. I don't know about their other boxes, although they've looked good. You can definitely tell that they're Harry Potter fans. A lot of thought went into this. So again, I highly recommend. I don't think I forgot anything. No. I mean, but there was so much in here. So, to my friends, who they don't know they're my friends, at the Black Needle Society, you guys are awesome. This is really great. And, I've been going on for 42 minutes. I'm sorry. When I film weekly, they're not so long. It's when I film every 2 weeks that they get a little long because I have a lot to talk about. I end these often with saying I hope that you're staying safe and that you're well and happy and that, you know, that you're safe. And I still hope that. And I hope that you are kind, and I'm going to go out tomorrow and get a little gift card for the fire department from Dunkin' Donuts. Put a little kindness in the world and make sure they know how grateful I am that they came and put the fire out on my back porch. My back porch wasn't on fire. It was completely contained in the grill. Don't worry. But anyway, I hope you're well. Stay safe. Be happy. Bye.